Hey, we are live for another warm-up show with the hockey coach, Guru Coach Francis directly for the beautiful Sunshine State and Florida. And we have to go all the way to the north in Toronto, Ontario to find a co-host. Mr. ENORTAP is in the house tonight. Welcome back.
Hello, Coach, and hello, Hockey Nation.
March 29, 2022, Tuesday night, 9 game on the program, but I believe they have about 4 game minimum where it's going to be really interesting what could happen for different team. Of course, more teams are involved, but I think a 3-4 match preview possible at some point during the playoff 2021, 2022. So it's something we're to follow up all around the league tonight. Whatsoever, we do the live stream play-by-play following this show tonight for the Montreal Canadiens. And tonight at the sunrise, a couple of miles where I am right now, again, the Florida Panthers. We're going to follow, of course, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Big game against the Boston Bruins with the Carolina, again, the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's another one over there. The Colorado, again, the Flames. That'll be another big one. And finally, we have the Pittsburgh Rangers. That's another one over there. And at the end of the night, we have the Dallas. They cannot lose.
They got to make these games up.
Yep.
The games they have in the hand, they got to win.
Exactly. And then we have the moderator of the Hockey Nation show, our Hockey Nation Live show is already inside of the chat. Tonight we call him, of course, the Butterbean, Mr. Danny T in the house.
Hey, Danny. How's it going?
Welcome back, Mr. Danny T. Thanks to join us tonight. Here we go. We have we talk about Danny T. We have to go all the way with the red carpet and welcome the best of the best, the brother, the best of the best, Mr. Nuna.
Hey, Roger. How are you?
And another fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs in the house, I believe, is assistant captain of the captain, Danny T. I'm talking about Mr. Kevin, Christian, and Keaton TP in the house.
Hey, Kevin. How are you?
From north, upstate in New York, close to the Niagara Falls. I'm talking about Jose Duarte in the house, member of the Hockey Nation Live Show.
Jose, welcome.
And everything is big over there. Everything is big over there. I'm talking about the New Jersey Devils fan number 1 and the house, Joseph LANHAM. Oh, we have already a Boston Bruins in the house tonight. Mr. Ross Stubbington in the house. Both of them are members of the Hockey Nation Live Show. Thank you so much, both of you, to join and support the Hockey Nation Live Show. And we have the scout directly from Montreal, dans la belle province de Québec, Mr. Alexis, the scout Dubuc, and the house.
Alex, how's it going?
Oh, longtemps we did not see our friend Lil Burst at number 30 is in the house tonight. Welcome back. And we have the DIXON Automobile Group back in the house. Mr. Danny back with directly from Ontario, looking and checking for what's going on between the Toronto and the Bruins, but he's going to look also for the Montreal Canadiens, number 1 fans of the Montreal Canadiens. His wife is a fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs, I believe. I don't know what's going on over there. Well, we know what's going to happen. He's going to sell a car before 6 o'clock tonight, 6:30.
Welcome, guys.
And Mr. R.J. Calabro, Sport, the Mr. One Insider of the Hockey Nation. I shall bring everything what you need to hear, to know, to see what's happening around the NHL and maybe around the world. It could be cricket, it could be golf, it could be ping pong. We don't know, but he follow everything around the world. He's a number 1 fan of the Hockey Nation Show. Welcome back, R.J. Calabro, Sport.
Hey, RJ.
And Mr. Bryce Garrett, the number 1 fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs, is back in the house. Join the party with Mr. Danny T, Kevin, and Jose. All fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs are already in the house. I can't wait to see Luciano, Graziano, and Kelly. And that's the formation of the blue team tonight. And the only one, but we love him, and he knows he's the only one. Yeah, maybe two. Sometimes Farrell Muggus is another one, but Mr. Ron with Kings, number 20 from Utah. The only fans are the Listeners King, regular in the house. And welcome back, Mr. Ron, the member of the Hockey Nation Live Show.
Hey, Ron. Welcome.
From Finland, he skipped the show this morning. I think he fell asleep earlier. We'll be ready for watching all the game tonight. Ready already 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe not, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Jarmo Virtanen, welcome back.
Moi, Jarmo.
Et le stunting comique directement de la ville de l'Île-Perrot. D'un côté de l'île Montréal, je crois, il est ici avec nous, monsieur.
Richard, how's it going?
And talking about him, one not to welcome back Mr. Patrick Fenn. Welcome back.
Welcome, Patrick.
What's wrong with him? Kevin said he requests a call. What's wrong with Noner? Well, he's just normal. He's always that way, Kevin. You have to... He's just who he is about that way with it. Yamo, moi, welcome back, Mr. Moi Vardaman. Vartanen's in the house already. We crow everything, Mr. I did the best I can, quick we can do, because we have a lot of things to talk about tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. And you'll be surprised because, you know what? Right away.
9 games.
It's right away, Mr. ENORTAP. That's what's going happening right now. Yeah, no choice. It's time for what? It's time for, not that one over there. I don't know what is happening, this one over there. It's supposed to be another one here. What's wrong with my graphic? And welcome back, Mr. ENORTAP. He's going to drop that puck. This is the time for the face-off because this is the beginning of the show. We want to see what happening the last 24 hours. He pay his attention. It's not about his position, but it's maybe about more what's he's looking for tonight. We'll see, but we have to wait. And Mr. ENORTAP is coming back talking about everything in the last 24 hours. Welcome back, Mr. ENORTAP.
Hey, Coach. Well, what was the lucky number last night?
37.
No, that was the total goals. But what was the lucky single-digit number in all the games? Just about.
6 and 1. It was for 7, honestly. If you roll the dice, you get 7. You get it yesterday.
Unbelievable. I think if you took the overs on all those, you would have won.
Exactly. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like,
but the bad news is nobody took it.
Nobody took it, including myself.
Exactly.
Oh well, I was a bit surprised, not because of the team, but just because of the record of the last few occasions that Washington's been playing Carolina. They seem to play them very well. They were at home last night, but give credit to Carolina. They came in determined. They got a couple quick goals. It took Washington off their game, and they just took command and totally dominated that game against Washington by a score of 6-1. Of interest there at the end, we had a fight with Wilson, and I forget the other player's name now. But this is about the third time that these two guys have fought, and
Brendan Smith.
Really, yes, that's right. And Wilson gave him a good beating this time, so we'll keep our eyes open because we know that there's going to be probably there could be a matchup in the first round between these two teams. You never know. Other games, St. Louis, I think officially pretty much took Vancouver out of the playoff run here with that 4-1 win. Good for them because they were slumping for a while. St. Louis was, and this hopefully puts them back on the tracks, especially in these last 2.5 weeks or so, 3 weeks. The other game shocked the heck out of me. Like 4-0. I thought, okay, we got an easy prediction here. Chicago's up 4-0 against Buffalo, and Buffalo came back, and then Chicago scored a late goal to take the lead. and and Buffalo, give them credit. They came around and they took that game. They've been playing fantastic. As a matter of fact, since I believe it's the new year, if I'm not mistaken. Since the new year, they have the fifth best record in the NHL. Buffalo has, so that's pretty impressive when you consider all the things that they've been through. Edmonton, as we thought, wasn't going to have too much difficulty with Arizona. Arizona's kind of been spiraling a little bit. Easy 6-1 win. The other game, the LA, I wouldn't say it was a surprise. I thought LA would win it, especially since they were at home. But it's difficult to play at the top of your game night in and night out when you have the amount of injuries, especially that they have on defense. And, Seattle really has nothing to lose at this point. I was just surprised by the score more so than the result itself. So, those are a couple things that really stood out. The other newsworthy item as well, it wasn't last night, but the night before when Colorado played, McKinnon got into a fight, and apparently now he's being checked out. Looks like he might be out, and they're saying it could even be very serious. We don't know if it's concussion related or not, but that would be a huge blow to Colorado. Maybe not so much. He's out for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
and
confirm this morning.
I don't know if they classified it as an upper body injury. I don't know if it came as a direct result of the fight or something that happened earlier in the game. I mean, he did finish the game and he looked okay, but sometimes if it's concussion related, the next morning you can start feeling some symptoms from a concussion. So
KK is out.
Well, yeah. It's not good.
It's just surprisingly they lost 6-1. That's that's for the Kings. You can lose against Seattle like maybe 3-1 or 3-2, 4-2.
Yeah,
they don't have a good team to score a lot of goals in it. You can count on your one hands how many times they scored 6 goals this year. Maybe the first time or second time. So and they do not too bad since they trade those players. It's funny about that one over there, but some step up. I was happy for Drager. Chris Drager have a great 2 years here in Florida. And he struggled this year with injuries after injuries, and get him a W over there. That's good to see that. But we have a few people already joined, Mr. ENORTAP. We have to welcome. You are awesome, Miss Kelly. Welcome back in the house. It's -4 at Perro this morning. -4. We have a few more. Lucas DeCorte. Welcome back, Mr. Lucas. Lucas DeCorte. Welcome. And we have our friend Alan Barnes is back in the house. Alan?
Hi, Alan.
We have our friend, supporter member of the Hockey National Show, Luciano Graziano. Welcome back in the show tonight.
Luciano, come si va?
And talking about Decorde, talking about Graziano, we're not talking another one. Tipolo Fulo, welcome back directement dans la belle province du Québec, Monsieur Paul Fulo. Ouais, ben là, ho. I thought to catch up what's going on. And Luciano said, just announced this afternoon is out with no timeline, return upper body injury. And dans la belle province de Québec, sometime he's dans la British Columbia, but Mr. Pierre Martin back in the house.
Hey, Pierre.
And we have a new score for tonight, 10-1 for the lead from Johnny Blaze, 62.
Oh, sure. What's that, shots on goal?
I think we said we won 10. That's maybe happening. But sure. We have what is all these upset make prediction very tough. Richard, talk about this. This is a question for you, Mr. ENORTAP.
Who knows? At this point, you know what it is too is some teams are starting to like they realize that they're out of the playoffs. They play a little bit looser as well, whereas the teams that are in competition every single night and know that they can't lose. Maybe the sticks are a little bit tighter. Some of those teams also acquired some new players, and it takes a while to sort of assimilate them together with everybody else. So I guess it's just a combination of all those things.
I will add on that one of them, Mr. ENORTAP. The team upset the one they are already eliminate, or they're going to be not going to the playoff, right? They play with they have nothing to lose anymore.
Yeah.
So they play with, they make a mistake, it's not a big deal. It's not like they have like a pressure to perform tonight because you have to win that game. So you can't I'm talking about Montreal right now. You talk about Buffalo and Seattle surprise yesterday. So I think that's moment. I believe that's the reason. One of the reason also that's the reason they are.
And they're also like a lot of them will bring up a lot of their young players as well to give them an opportunity.
Yeah.
And so those guys don't want to disappoint, obviously. So they're going out there every shift hard and makes a difference.
Exactly. Then I have a question for you. What is your strongest guess feeling of the Leaf game tonight?
What do I feel about the Leafs tonight? I think they're in. It's going to be a close game. I think they're in a tight. I think it'll be settled in the third period. Personally, if the Leafs goaltending can hold up, they'll be okay.
Yeah. Luciano mentioned, just remember the Leaf fans as women is 6-0-1 the last 7 games with 9-6-7. About that one. Well, welcome back, Mr. The Gaming Banana 1, 2, 3 in the house.
Welcome, Gaming.
He asked what the Avs going to do during the off season. The Gaming, they go to recovery. They go to take a couple of months. They never recovery for last season. They took only 6 weeks between the last game of the playoff until they restart. So they go to recovery, and then they go to the stat management, going to figure out what they keep, who they don't keep. But they would take at least a good month, a 6 week. Gallagher would not be surprised. He'd take 3 months, completely shut down everything to reset. And that's maybe the beauty of Montreal Canadiens right now. They need to reset and take a time, refocus, re-energize, and recovery. That's the 3R right there. They all said Florida will smoke Toronto. Too so much for that one over there. Ron Ross, who has been passing out the Coke 10-1. Oh, come on, man. True. No, but yeah, it's run between 10-1 and maybe 5-4 about that one there. I wouldn't be surprised Toronto can upset Toronto, Boston, but not 10-1. To be honest with you, I try to pick up all the strength. We have Mr. Norm Bright in the house.
Welcome, Norm.
Who was the best hockey player ever?
Oh, it's so hard. It depends on the era, depends on the position. If we're talking defensemen, without a doubt, it's always been and it continues to be Bobby Orr for me. In terms of forwards, I give the edge to Lemieux, but Gretzky is definitely 1B with him as well. And you can make the argument the other way around as well.
Yeah,
but I just liked Lemieux a little bit better. I thought he had more size. He had I think he can really carry the team on his back at times when he didn't always have a great team, whereas Gretzky always had a good supporting cast. And again, not to minimize anything he's done, because there's a reason why he's Mr. Hockey. But I think I'd give the edge to Lemieux.
Actually, don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. We have only 20 and 26 people in the house. First of all, I want to mention what's going on at the West Palm Beach, all the GM situation. A couple of things. First of all, they don't go to allow the long-term injury reserve for the salary cap. It's something we're going to talk about this during the week. I think I have a solution for that, but they don't listen to me. But that's something we have to look about this a little bit later. We have the World Cup or the Canada Cup. They all can be back at 2024, but no young team like they was before, below 23 years old. So it's going to be only country by country. That's confirmed. You have also confirmed the NHL draft is going to be live in Montreal this summer. That's confirmed also. We have also the fact they have
Oh, $1 million.
$1 million for the salary cap confirmed about that one over there. So that's a good news for them. And then you have a couple other things minor, but not big at that moment. So a lot of things we'll talk about the long term is going to be more talking about during the meeting in June and July in Montreal.
Any word on rule changes or
on which one?
Visiting on rule changes or anything like that? No talk about that?
No.
No.
No. I thought you checking everybody, Lanny. It's funny, especially Boston win and the polls so far, but no one's picking up the chat. Toronto fans scary. Hey, Mr. 20 Eyes, do you think the Rangers have a chance at beating Pittsburgh tonight after the Coast call again the Buffalo? They have a chance for sure. Rangers looking good. With Chesterkin, you can beat. I took Pittsburgh for me, but it's a game could be a 3-2, 4-3, or by 1 goal. Could be an overtime or a shootout. I wouldn't be surprised.
Tough game.
Yeah. Ross said, "How does Steven Eisenman never get mentioned in the same breath as Gretzky or Lemieux?" Because Steve Eisenman, he never dominated the league exactly like Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux did. About when I said that, it's like there was he won the champion of the team, the league, the most point, the 140, 160, every time that, everything. So that's one reason I would say to you, Ross, the reason why nobody talked really about Eisenman about that. Eskinen is back for the kissing disease. So Eskinen back in the lineup. That's a good news for them. We have Mr. Alan Vaillancourt. Welcome back in the house.
Hey, Alan.
Very difficult the gaming to who said win the Stanley Cup. I did 5 fun answers so far, so I have no clue at that moment. Early. Too many things could happen. I was an important as the author to his team. Yes, Ross, but he was not the one produced a lot of points. So he accomplished a role team. He accomplished other things, but really the domination of the Mario Lemieux was 2 steps over everybody. Oh, yeah. And Wayne Gretzky was 2 steps over. And I think that's the reason where it's not. I can say to you example, Steve Eisenman, Peter Stastny, and I can go that Sakic, level, right? Mike Modano and all those kind of players where they are super elite. But we talk about the cream of the cream. I believe for me it's Bobby Orr, Lemieux, Gretzky. You can go also with Gordy Orr. You can go all the way. But for me, that's the way I qualify. It's fun between a super elite and super elite. So that's, again, that's everybody is different, honestly, about that one over there. Best league player all the time, Mr. ENORTAP. Best player, league player all the time.
Oh, my gosh. That's a tough one. I'd probably... I guess from the ones that I saw in my days. I mean, I liked Sundin. I think he probably was one of the most productive. I liked Gilmore as well. Sittler was very solid. Borja Salming as a defenseman. Those are some of the very key ones in my era, anyways.
Yeah, I think you nail it, right? You can go all the way with Borges Salming. I think he make something special over there. Sunday was another one. You have those kind of the tradition over there, the Gilmore, the Rick Vibe and the Waddle Clock, and you can go all the way like this with Sickler. You can also talking about Dave Keon, a little bit younger, and you have the Tim Horton, and you can go all the way like that. But for me, I think for me it was more like a Matt Sundin and Borges Salming. The 2 other one was really where I enjoyed to watch for sure about that. So we have to start right away, Mr. ENORTAP. Too many games tonight, and we have to get out here at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So let's dive in right away and go from the 9 game we have on the program tonight. For the new people who want to join the party, you give us the score of the game. And then at the end, you can give also your fantasy player, 1 player selection, who's going to have the most points tonight. Finally, you add all the score of the game tonight, all together, the 9 game. You give us a number, and that's what's happening at the end of the show. So, Mr. ENORTAP, it's your turn to give us everything we need to know.
And who was our winner last night, Coach?
So again,
who was our winner last night? What was the record?
Coach.
Oh, excellent.
Nobody got 4 yesterday.
Wow. Yeah,
yep.
It was a tough night.
We have only 3 people. We have 3 people. We have only a few got 3-2 yesterday. Mr. ENORTAP. I think we have also Nam is not here tonight. And also Andrew Lepage and Yamo are 3-2. And nobody select the real score.
Oh, no. Yeah, no exact scores.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we have this in our tab, Ron King, Kelly with 2 and 3. Then we have a 1 and 4. Nobody was 0-5 anyway. I don't put their name there. And then we have you at 37. And we have 3 winners for the Players Fantasy. We have Kelly, she picked Debrincat. And then we have also Dressador yesterday, Richard Molin with Andrew Lepage.
Excellent. Okay, so let's get going on these games tonight. There's 9 of them. Some very exciting games on the plan tonight. The Canadians, they've gone 10-4-4 since February 17th, including that last loss to Florida 4-3 on Thursday. Montreal continues a difficult schedule this week. As they visit tonight, Florida, and they've got Carolina coming up, Tampa Bay. So they got a tough schedule. Looks like Allen will be in net tonight for Montreal. So hopefully he puts a nice effort like he did against the Leafs on Saturday. And if he does that, it'll give us an opportunity to at least be competitive. Meanwhile, the Panthers, they lost to Toronto 5-2 on Sunday. They've had a couple games where they quite haven't been themselves for a variety of different reasons. They return home after playing 9 of their past 10 games on the road. They were 7-2-1 in those 10 games, so they had a very successful road trip for an area of concern in the earlier parts of the year. So maybe it was also just a reflection of, them being tired, being on the road that long. And that's why they had a couple of flat games at the end. Now Florida will play 4 of its next 6 games at home, where they lead the league in home goals at 148. And they also have one of the best home records with 26 of their total wins at home. The players, we talk about them all the time, really. Guys like Huberdeau, Barkov, now Giroux, Reinhardt, Bennett, Verhey, Duclair. Like, these guys all have over 20 goals. I think they're up to 6 or 7 players now that are in the 20s or higher, which is quite remarkable. It just goes to show the depth that they have. The key, as always, will be the goaltending. And I think this year, too, the Florida will go as Sergei Bobrovsky will go. I'm going to take them to win this game 5-2. And we're going to look for some fireworks tonight. Tonight's matchup between the Rangers and Penguins will carry about as much drama as the regular season can offer. The Penguins sit 1 point ahead of the Rangers right now in a battle for second place in the Metro. And the teams are coming off of a game Friday in New York, in which Pittsburgh essentially was how can we put it? They were a no-show. They lost 5-1 and were totally outplayed by the Rangers. So I'm sure they want to respond to that. They came out, actually, the next game, Pittsburgh came out and played Detroit after that embarrassing game, and they really overmatched and romped all over Detroit by a score 11-2. But as much as that was satisfaction for them, I think it'll be more satisfaction if they could beat the Rangers at home tonight. Again, a goaltenders duo here in Shesterkin and Jari. The Penguins' route Sunday was complete. They were like 3 for 6 on the power play. They had a shorthanded goal. They got at least 1 point from all of their 12 forwards, and they made good on their chances with 11 goals on 35 shots. So uh, that's been great. Malkin's really been on a tear lately. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win this game 3-2, but it could be an overtime game in my eyes.
It's just they do an empty net.
Yeah, could be. And it brings us to another big game, Toronto Boston, who are currently tied in the Atlantic Division. The Bruins look to continue on their winning ways when they face the Leafs tonight. Both teams have identical records right now, and they're entering their only meeting at Boston this season. And their other matchup this year in Toronto. Toronto won that back in, I think it was in November. They beat Boston 5-2. The Bruins improved to 14-2-1 since February 19th, with Saturday's 6-3 win over the Islanders, marking the Bruins' 4th win in a row as well. Against the Islanders, Marchand and Hall both had a goal and 2 assists, while Hala and Pasternak had a goal and assist each. McAvoy had 2 assists. All multiple point games for these players. And that's because they finally have come up with a couple of very strong lines that they can throw at teams. And the depth that they added also at the trade deadline time has made their defense a lot more solid as well. The Bruins captain Bergeron registered an assist on Marchand's goal in his 1,200th NHL game. He currently ranks 3rd behind Ray Bourque and Johnny Busick in games played in Bruin history. Toronto, well, they moved to 6-3-1 since March 7th and drew even with the Bruins for 3rd place in the division following that 5-2 win over the Panthers. Guys like Tavares, again, he had 2 power play goals. He seems to have come around, at least in goal scoring. I thought he was always still producing, even though he wasn't putting the puck in the net before, but he's been there for quite a while, scoring and getting points for the Leafs. Matthews got his 48th of the season in that game. Marner had 3 assists to become really the fastest player in Leaf history to reach 300 assist milestone. He did it in 411 games. And that's quite a feat, I believe. In the November 6th Toronto-Boston game, Matthews scored 2 goals in that one. Tavares had 2 goals and an assist, and Marner had a goal and 3 assists. So, it's going to be critical for Boston to try to stop that top line. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be an empty net goal, but Boston will win this 4-2.
I know it's time.
Mostly because of goaltending in my eyes. Next, Carolina and Tampa Bay. Wow. Here we go. The only unfortunate thing is Carolina's on a back-to-back from last night. So that really sums up my prediction in a nutshell right there, why I'm going to go with Tampa Bay in a few seconds. But, after rediscovering their form with 2 wins following a 17-day stretch of some bad hockey, the Lightning can finally settle in at home now for a while. In the opener of a 4-game homestand, the Lightning host the Metro Division leading Hurricanes. Carolina, like I said, is on a back-to-back after that 6-1 rout of Washington last night. Tampa went 2-2-0 on their recent 4-game road trip. when the Lightning descended into, a wild card position after losing 3-2 to Boston on Thursday. Cooper's squad, they dropped, I think it was 3 consecutive contests for only the second time in what is now a 7-7-0 month for them as well. Penalty killing has been actually quite decent for them. They're at an 86% clip. They seem to be coming around just at the right time. Carolina is starting to do the same thing. I think this is going to be a dandy of a game here. I'm going to take Tampa Bay just because Carolina was on a back-to-back and they have Ranta in net tonight. So I'm going to go 3-2. By the way, Kokoniemi got injured in the last game. We don't know the extent of his injury, but it looks like he might be out for a little while.
Yep.
And next we have the Islanders and Columbus. With their playoff hopes all but extinguished, really, for both teams. Columbus and the Islanders are sort of nearing the end of a very tough year for both of them for different reasons, but things didn't go quite the way either team wanted them to go, especially in New York's case. The Blue Jackets most recently played Saturday when they completed a winless 3-game road trip by losing to the Wild in overtime. The Islanders lost for the second time in as many nights on Sunday with a 4-1 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Blue Jackets, who have played the past 7 games without really, one of their key players and captain, Boone Jenner, absorbed 2 costly injuries on their 0-1-2 road trip. The injuries, like Korpisalo was quite serious. He had to undergo hip surgery, and looks like he'll be out the rest of the season. Also, Werenski, whose 42 points rank him 5th on the team, also left Saturday's game in the first period after he took a hard hit to the head. It could very well be from a hit that he suffered. It could very well be a concussion. We don't know yet. They haven't specified. The Islanders are with their own injuries, of course. Sorokin, who was hit in the mask by a puck in each of the first 2 periods, didn't play in the 3rd period of the weekend game. But we don't know. I don't have who the final goaltender could be here, whether they're going with Sorokin or not. Probably they might put in Varlamov, is my guess. I will take the Islanders to win this one 4-2. Okay, takes us to Philadelphia and Minnesota. 2 teams going in opposite directions. The Wild go for their 7th win in a row. The Wild are coming off of a 3-2 overtime win against the Avalanche on Sunday. It marked the 3rd straight overtime victory for Minnesota, which is now 8-1-1 in their past 10 games. And like I've said on numerous occasions, I really like what they did on trade deadline time. They brought in some key components and addressed some of their areas of need. Kaprizov has played a significant role in the Wild's success, both during the winning streak and really throughout the entire season. He scored 4 goals in his past 3 games. He leads the team with 36 goals on the season, and he's only two points shy of the Wild's single season record, which is 83, and was set by Marian Gaborik in 2007. Right behind him, and just as important, is Matt Zuccarello. He ranks 2nd with 67 points. Behind him is Kevin Fiala with 59 points. These guys have really been on fire lately and are a big component of why they're doing as well as they are. Philadelphia is eager to sort of snap out of a recent slump. They've lost 3 out of their past 4 games, including back-to-back games. In their most recent 5-4 loss against Nashville, the Flyers couldn't maintain a lead that they had, allowing the Predators to score 4 of the game's final goals and causing a loss there. Atkinson leads the Flyers with 50 points and followed by Konechny with 43. It's going to be another tough outing for Philadelphia in my eyes. I'm going to take Minnesota to win this 4-1. Okay, next takes us to Nashville. Smashville, here we go. Considering their recent home success over the Senators, the Predators might have a good opportunity to build on a much-needed victory over the weekend. They're meeting for the first time in more than 2 years. The Predators, they aim for a 7th consecutive home win over the Senators tonight. At the moment, Nashville owns a playoff spot in the West, though the Predators have won 8 out of the past last 12 games. They avoided a 3rd consecutive defeat by rallying from a pair of 2-goal deficits to beat the Flyers, as I mentioned earlier, 5-4 on Sunday. Winning at least back-to-back contests seems entirely possible, even though the Predators have now faced Ottawa haven't faced Ottawa since 2020, I believe it was, with a 3-2 victory back then. The Nashville has won 6 consecutive home games against Ottawa, whose last victory came on January the 11th of 2014. The Senators, they won their most recent road game 5-2 against Winnipeg. They followed that with a 4-3 home shootout defeat to Florida on Saturday. And since February 26th, they have a 4-10-1 record. Forsberg's been very solid for them in net. He's been seeing a lot of rubber. Many nights where he's getting high 30s, mid 40s in terms of shots on net, but he hasn't disappointed and he's kept them in the games. For Nashville, Saros ranks among the league leaders in starts at 55, wins at 32. So he's been really solid all year long. And we know the story about some of their forwards and what Yossi's done as well. I think at home, Nashville has to win this game in my eyes. They're going to come out on top 4-2. And now Calgary and Colorado. When the Central Division leading Avalanche visit Calgary tonight, it's sort of a chance for the Pacific Division leading Flames to see really how they stack up against the leaders and where in the hierarchy they feel they are. This is the team's 3rd meeting this month. Calgary took the first game 4-3 in overtime on March the 5th. And then the Avalanche took the next game 8 days later, 3-0. So this is sort of the rubber match between the two. The Flames, they're coming off of a 9-5 victory over the Oilers. Goudreau's been having a career year. He had 5 assists in that game alone. He's on the verge of setting career highs in goals and assists and is on pace to surpass the 100-point mark for the first time in his career. And really, given when Daryl Sutter first came to the to the team and how people thought, Gaudreau wasn't going to survive being under the leadership and coaching of Daryl Sutter. It's amazing what he has accomplished. We talked a little bit about the absence of McKinnon. That'll hurt Colorado tonight. They have a 10-point cushion on the Flames in the overall chase for the top spot in the conference, but I don't think really either team is looking at that aspect of it. I think they just want to obviously play the best game they can and send messages that if they meet in the playoffs, it's not going to be a cakewalk for sure. But it's in Calgary, and McKinnon is out, so I'm going to take Calgary to win this one, 4-3.
Very good.
And then our last game of the night is Dallas and Anaheim. Dallas is on the outside looking in right now in terms of a playoff spot, but they also have 3 and 4 games in hand on a variety of teams. But as we know, those games are only important if you win them. If you lose them, then of course they're going to stay where they are, which is on the outside looking in. The Stars, they head into this game following a 4-1 defeat at the hands of the Canucks on Saturday. The game was tied going into the third period before Vancouver took the lead a little more than a minute into the period, and then they never looked back after that. Dallas entered Saturday's contest. They were on a 3-game winning streak, but now they're followed that up with a 3-game losing streak. So it's important that they establish themselves and get themselves righted again on the right way and direction, and get back into optimal spot in their own division. The Ducks, they've dropped 9 consecutive games. They're 0-7-2. They haven't won since they beat San Jose 3-2 in overtime on March the 6th. And the team enters this game off of a 4-1 loss at San Jose on Saturday. And I don't think this will get any better for them. I think this will be the blowout of the night. I'm going to take Dallas 6-0.
6-0 over there.
Yeah, usually I don't give too many shutouts, but
I'm just waiting to pick up the people there. All right.
He took the Ducks. Wow. I'm surprised.
And we are fantasy players, Mr. ENORTAP. We got the lead now by 1-1 for you. Congratulations. It's still lead. I go tonight with Minnesota. I took Mekar, Jose Robinson, Kaprizov. You said 6-0, so I expect Robinson 3 points. And Huberdeau.
And of course, I couldn't take him. So I'm going to go Dallas. I'll take Hedman and Letang. And up front, I'll take Giroux, Barkov. And since I spoke so highly of Johnny Gaudreau, I will take him again.
Yeah. Pierre Martin is 5-2. Total 49. Hey everyone, Blackhawks, welcome back. And Nooner 55. Mr. ENORTAP.
I'm going to go with 53.
63, 66.
No, 53. And what do you have, Coach?
Matthews for Joseph. Zicarlo, good choice. Fantasy, John Grégoire Marchand. We got one before. John Grégoire was 61. 55, Kelly. Chico with Kaprizov. We have already a Kaprizov. Ross. Kelly got that one over there. Ross go with 60. $58.
Yours?
Yep, 58.
Okay, sir. Perfect.
So that's what we had at that moment, Mr. ENORTAP. Hopefully Blackhawks should be, can feel better. I always pick Kaprizov. That's good to hear that. Thank you, Mr. ENORTAP. Before we leave, what are you looking for tonight? I will jump in right away on that.
Yeah, it's we have a handful of really good games tonight, Coach. I'm looking forward to seeing Rangers in Pittsburgh. I think that'll be a tough, rough game. Toronto and Boston should be very exciting. Tampa Bay and Carolina should be another tough game. We saw how it ended last time, right at the end of the game between those two. Also, the Calgary and Colorado game should be very exciting as well. So those are the handful of games that are going to really have an effect on the standings as well.
Yeah, so about that. What do you think about Pittsburgh Rangers tonight?
Well, like I said, I think Pittsburgh will sort of be out for a little bit of revenge here from the last time they played last week. They kind of felt embarrassed by the effort that they put in against the Rangers. So this could very well be a round one matchup between these two teams. And so, you don't want to give up too much in terms of, let's say, a loss of confidence and start playing mental games where you think, I don't know, can we beat this team or not? So they need to send a message here to say, yeah, you beat us, but this is not over by any stretch.
Yep, so right about that. Will be a lot of good game. We're going to be back in next 10 minutes. But until then, we wish all the fans for the... First of all, we feel bad for Blackhawks. 2 bad games, the last 2-1 over there. We feel the pain about that one. We've been there, by the way, so we know about this. But all the fans at Toronto Maple Leafs, we wish you the best. Good luck tonight against the Boston Bruins. And whatever you have your team play tonight, we wish you an amazing, great night. Hopefully, it will happen for your team. You cheer tonight. But until then, we want to remind you, Mr. ENORTAP, you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Yes, you have greatness inside of you, Mr. ENORTAP. Also, everybody in the chat have a greatness, and we appreciate each one of you to be a part of the prediction and the show, the warm-up. We are really grateful and thankful to have each one with us for sure. And Mr. ENORTAP, before we leave, we want to remind everybody, be well, be healthy, find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate what, Mr. ENORTAP? 2022 fire! Have an amazing, great night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.